We certainly have a good number of domestic issues that are driving folks to the polls this year, from abortion to the economy, to the border. To what extent is this getting people's attention?
Well, the interesting thing that we found in the numbers on this poll is that that figure you cited of 51% of support for sending aid to Israel has dropped 10 points since the beginning, since we last asked the question in November, right after the Israel-Hamas war started. So this is a signal that aid to Ukraine has stayed steady at about 57%, but Americans' enthusiasm for helping Israel, as long as it's conducting the war in the way it is conducting it, has dropped, and that should be a red blinking light to Democrats and Republicans who are sort of all in for Israel without conditions.
Okay, so maybe, Wendy, while we're seeing waning interest or passion in supporting Israel, we're seeing an uptick perhaps on another issue, and that is abortion. We spoke with Eli Yokley, the U.S. politics analyst, over at Morning Consult, our partner on this poll, and this is what he said on that topic.
We saw in this wave of surveys an increase among the voters who say their number one issue is abortion. That seems like it might be a bit of an out for President Biden, especially in Arizona, by the way, one of the places where he's doing the worst. The economy is almost tied with immigration, but abortion doubled since we started doing this.
And yet in Arizona, just today, Wendy, it seems circumstances may be starting to change. Of course, he was referring to, in Arizona, the Supreme Court allowing a law from back in the Civil War era, before Arizona was even a state, that basically outlaws all abortions, to take hold. The Arizona State House today repealed it. Still needs to go through the Senate, but is expected to pass there as well, which would mean that abortions can take place up to 15 weeks. Is this a blessing for Donald Trump and Carrie Lake, for that matter, who's running for Senate?
Yes, and it's certainly a blessing for Republicans who wanted to win re-election. The Arizona Senate only needs 2 Republicans to pass this, and all the Democrats. So it's likely to go through. Probably Republicans from the suburbs of Maricopa County. There are a lot of cries of betrayal, but, you know, in politics for both parties, there's your convictions and there's keeping your job. And they really do want to keep their job. They want Carrie Lake to be elected to the Senate, and they want Donald Trump to win. There is a referendum on the ballot in November that would codify abortion rights to, I believe 15 weeks, which is a somewhat popular, moderate position on abortion. Our poll showed that alone was going to drive Democrats and independents to the polls. Support for abortion rights in Arizona jumped 10 points that ruling came down while we were in the field. So it jumped 10 points for that. This repeal of that law, I think, blunts that effort.
I have to ask you about the economy, because some of the numbers for Joe Biden are bleak. Specifically, when you look not just about current conditions, you hear about the way people feel about the way things are now. It's where we're going. Joe Biden's trying to deliver a message of optimism among undecideds. It's single digits who believe the economy is going to get better in the next year. This is a massive problem.
Absolutely. That was probably the biggest finding in this poll, because the horse race numbers are pretty static. People are generally still feel the economy as their number one issue. But it was the deep, deep pessimism about the trajectory of the economy that was really striking to us. There were 18 to 34-year-olds who said the economy's bad, not getting better. 45 to 64-year-olds felt the same way. Those are majorities of those people felt that way. And then when you ask them, who do you blame, or who is responsible for, you know, the economy's conditions, it wasn't the Fed, it wasn't Wall Street. Whether true or not, it was the President of the United States. And so when you feel bad about the economy, when you don't see it getting any better, when you can't buy a house or pay for as many groceries as you normally like, it's possible you're going to vote the guy out who you feel is responsible for this. So Biden's messaging is not working. They're going to have to take another tack.